If you could run your own bookstore where you play mini games, restock shelves, help customers out, and so much more, well, would you? Hey guys, it's Trix and welcome to Bookbound. According to its Steam page, it's a cozy book simulation game, and you start out with picking out how you want your character to look like. I ended up with this to start off with. You could change it later on if you want. Mysterious book says, "Oh damn," and disappears. Oh, and he's back? Ta-da! Welcome, you must be the new owner of this fine bookstore. What the? Who are you? My name is Stefan, permanent and involuntary resident of this store. Stefan then proceeded to teach me how to open up the store. He advised that I should open up the build menu and start getting shelves. It took me a while to decide which shelves to pick, which is why everything is sped up, but basically you get a shelf, you get a counter, and then you start picking up your books. All of the books come in different genres, and you're supposed to someday complete all of the options available. Spoiler alert, I actually do not get that far because at some point it becomes a bit too grindy for me, but there are a lot of things to explore with this game, so let's get ahead with opening the shop. I splurged and got a couple more shelves and even more books, filled the shelves up, figured out how to put all the genres together so they have all those sparkly things, and it was time to open up shop. The main premise of the game was relatively easy. You let customers come in, you can play mini games or speak to those outside for more people to come in. They roam around the store and see if there's anything they like. Once they like something, they'll come up to you at the cashier and you give them their change, and afterwards you can refill the bookshelves, and at the end of the day you can buy upgrades which come in furniture or things like that, and that's basically it. The charm, however, came in with its unique characters and all of their backstories, which we will get into in a bit, and that was actually the reason why I took longer to play this game, even though it's such a simple base design. There are a lot of characters to meet, and right now I'm collecting a few letters because of its second mechanic, wherein if you get enough letters, which you get a few every day, you get enough inspiration, and at some point you actually are able to make your own books. That night I redecorated, restocked, and then reopened, and no one was coming in. Still no one here. Well, there's one person. I'm gonna call people out. Hello? Okay, so you basically click the button several times. Alright, it's not that difficult. Does it just mean you have to be there by the end of it? By the end of 5 seconds, it has to be at the green bar? Anyway, I called a person, but he littered the moment he came in. Alright, okay, fine. And then, okay, sir, there are only 3 shelves. Why do you need my help? How do you have this book door of fire? Yes, I do. It's right in front of you, I think. That's what the near thing says, right? Very near. Okay, it was in the next shelf. Hi. Okay. And then I have to give this person change. Here you go. And whoever is littering in this gigantic bookstore with nothing in it, come on, people. For the rest of the day, I did what any store owner would do. I would do my job. There were still more people littering. I had to restock the shelves. I finally realized it would be easier to just keep ordering books once people order them or once people buy them, so that I don't have to write anything down and keep things in track that way. And at the end of the day, I finally had enough to get 5 bookshelves because there are 5 genres, and I got whatever I could so that I can stock them all up. I need to touch some grass. To the park! I wish I could meet someone who shares my love for fantasy and romance. A letter, and another one, and the duck. The duck gives a coin every time, I think. I don't know if at some point he will give more coins. There is a famous quote that says, "If you want to know the future, look at the past. Yet so few respect and study history as they should." Where's my game? Okay, we're starting over. My recordings show I saved my game before I left it, but because of that, 2 things have changed in this run. Number 1, I look like this now. I'm a cutie patootie. But also number 2, I sort of sped run the rest of this, as in I did not stop, I did not take breaks. I just kept playing the game until I was bored and sick and tired of it, which probably made me get bored and sick and tired of it much faster than it would have. But I just didn't want to lose the game all over again. But basically, this is where we kind of ended in the first run. So I'm just, I kind of just simulated everything I did in the first run, but I didn't want to pretend that this was my first time. But this was my first time playing because I have played it before, and I didn't want to act like I didn't. So that's what just happened, and now I'm a ladybug, and I'm still in the grind of things, and we're gonna keep playing and enjoying the game. So just like before, I was taking care of the store, just letting the customers buy and me giving them change. I would order the books that they bought immediately after, if I remembered. There you go. And then I would close the store, redecorate, restock, and then go out into the yard to gather some inspiration to make a book and to speak with the characters outside. So at this point, I just want to bring up that there are around 5 characters, if I remember correctly, that have actual storylines within this game, and if you speak with them enough, you will be able to progress their storyline. And at some point, for all of them, there is closure, there is an ending, and I find that very adorable in a small bookshop simulation game. But the base game design, like to just reach all of the achievements and to complete everything, does take a long time. Like, I finished the stories and everything far earlier than I was able to complete the book collections and things like that. And there are a lot of things in this game, like choosing the cuter bookshelves and decorating, and I know there are a lot of people who enjoy decorating in this game. I did as well, but the fact of the matter is, if you're doing the same thing during a short amount of time every day, and it was just being very repetitive, and at some point I also gave up because I couldn't stop playing the game for fear of losing my save file. So that's what happened, but we did push on and I did enjoy most of it. It was great until I decided that I just didn't want to keep playing anymore. And it wasn't because this game is bad. There are games wherein you just expect that at some point it becomes repetitive, and this was one when I was going in anyway. In retrospect, I was actually charmed by the fact that there were other things I can do, like get these upgrades, speak to a lot of people. So I really recommend this game, especially if you want a cozy game and things like that. And hopefully you won't lose your save file, so you don't feel the pressure of like finishing everything in one go, or like not turning off your computer and things like that. But this was a good game, so let's go to the rest of what I was able to record before we go and lead to my final conclusions. You ever think about what aliens would actually be like? What if they're just blobs, like ultra clever, sentient jelly just roaming around space? This man. That was actually a bit of a turning point for me, because speaking to that guy over and over again, he's often there even during the day. I finally started to have an inkling that these people have their own stories, and the ones that were sitting on the benches, they weren't just like regulars who hung out. They actually had things they had to say and lessons in what they were saying. Time for an armchair lamppost thing. Yep, this one. Yep. It's a book nook, guys. It's a book nook. It's like when you go to those old-timey bookstores and you sit down and read. Not like a lot of places today. Now if you read, they start asking you if you're there to buy something. But mine isn't like that. You can stay all day and just read. I will not judge. No, I will judge you, but I will not ask you to leave. Alright, okay. Sir, yay, someone's sitting... Sitting down and littering? Sir? Does no one have a trash can? Or okay, fine. There's a trash can out here. Okay, 4 at a time. Let's go. Oh, that's great. Why don't they all move at the same time? Well, I guess that's what the difficulty is for. Okay, fine. Alright, everyone, look at your books. Go. I feel like half the time I'm just cleaning stuff. Are you even gonna buy anything? Okay, they're at least buying things, I think. I took so long on that customer, I was getting so distracted. Okay, this one is 12. I keep trying to remember the name of the book, and then I have to give them change and I forget the name of the book, and then I keep coming back to it. Okay. I think I'll get better. I don't know. Hello, lady. Do you mind if you quickly popped into your shop? I'd like to ask something. Ooh. Did you see that? What? That book just moved on its own. Is that right? You must think I'm mad. Not at all. You're far from the first person to see something mysterious in this place. I suppose I've always loved a mystery. Do you think this place is haunted? I wouldn't say haunted, not in the way you think. Stefan? Was she talking about me? Yes, she was, obviously. Oh, that was kind of cool. Like a cutscene in the middle of the day, but it was kind of weird because there were still customers coming around. So what if someone like wanted to buy something, or like this guy, he has been waiting for me to help him for he's been waiting for me to help him, and I don't even have the book he needs. Hey Stefan, I didn't get a chance to thank you the other day, so thanks, I appreciate the help. Oh, don't make me blush. I appreciate you not freaking out about me. Take care. That's it? That's it? We're not gonna talk about people seeing you and it being kinda creepy? Alright. Biographies have always been my favorite. I finished one about Cleopatra. It shows how she was a strong, shrewd leader despite myths. My Martha would have loved it. Aww, that's kind of really sweet. Is Martha like his wife, like a deceased wife or something like that? Okay, that makes me kind of sad now. I saw a kid reading my old book on the bus today. Their face was lit up like they found a secret door to another world. I almost said something, but what if it ruins the magic? Those were two of the people that you can have full conversations with. Of course, the whole conversations are split up between days, and sometimes, like today, there's no one on some of the benches, so you have to wait for the next day to speak to the people there. I learned that you can speak to them multiple times in a day and get different conversations, or at least the next part of the conversation, and a lot of them are really well thought out. For example, the first one earlier was a professor and he finds his calling in another way, and the second one was an author who was worried that he was no longer being, contributive to the world in terms of his writing skills. And a lot of the stories really speak up about how games and books can be very transformative, and how losing yourself in a world where you read or where you play can be very therapeutic and help you to get through bad things and things like that. And with the 5 people that you're able to speak to with here, you can really see a lot of the perspective and a lot of the life stories that they have gone through and that they are able to share. While I was playing this game, although I will never be able to say that it was the best game, like 100% the best game, because of course the best game wouldn't be something that you grow tired of or you get bored of and things like that, but I must give a lot of props to the game writers and the game designers that they put so much thought into such a short game or into such a simple game. And I'm really thankful that I tried this game and that I stuck it out for as long as I could. For spoilers' sake, I actually wouldn't be continuing the rest of my game here. Like, I will show you guys everything, like where I ended up and things like that. But I no longer want to share every single conversation. While I was playing this game, that was actually my intention. So I made sure to record and speak to all of the stories, and I actually completed those achievements and finished all of the scenes and cuts with all of them. But I realized that that is one of the best parts of the game, and one part of that is figuring out their stories on your own and learning about these people. So I will no longer be doing that, and instead I will show you the ending, or where I ended up with my playthrough. And just so you know, I did complete all the storylines and I was able to finish unlocking a lot of the things. The achievements that I wasn't able to finish was to have one book sold from every from all the collections, like all of the books from all of the collections be sold once. And I was still unlocking books by the time I ended playing this game, so I think it would have taken a long while. And there was nothing else that was keeping me excited because I've completed all of these storylines, and my place was kinda, it was already nifty, so I didn't really need to keep decorating. Also, as you can see on screen right now with that guy having a seizure, there were lots of instances where things were glitching out, like places where my armchair was inaccessible, some of the bookshelves were inaccessible. Sometimes there would be a random person standing like in another area of the store, but they were actually checking out at the checkout counter. So the more things that I was placing on the floor, the more I think the character or like the customers' AIs were getting confused and things were getting stuck everywhere. So I don't want to show those parts anymore. So let's go and fast forward to my beautiful store. Okay, so this was a bit mid-game. I still needed a few upgrades, but this is where I had all of the fancy shelves and all of the books already. But it was still just a lot of like restocking and speaking and, expanding and things like that. So here I am expanding the store. And like, don't get me wrong, the decorating aspect of this game was top notch. It was really a lot of fun to be able to have so much freedom. It's just that every time I expanded or every time I moved things around, there were things getting stuck, so that was getting confusing as well. And here is the semi-end of everything. As you can see, everything was starting to get a bit laggy as well. And mind you, this isn't such a big game that it should have been laggy or anything, but I noticed this in post-processing when a lot of the little light logo things are showing up on screen. It sometimes gets a bit slow and, hard to watch. But anyway, this is how it ended up. It didn't look as good as I wanted it to be, but this is as functional as I did want it to be because I had to move a lot of the things out that I put as decoration because people can't get to them anymore. Like this whole area with the 2 armchairs and the Voomba, no one could sit there anymore. People would just be standing at the side with the sitting down animation, but they won't actually be on the chair. So that's one of the things that was like telling me that I didn't really need to finish the whole game. Part of me was making me try to finish the game because of the completionist thing and stuff like that, but I really, I had to stop and think about it and just end the game because at some point there were like 10-15 minutes of gameplay that I recorded that I was just standing there doing nothing because before and after the shop opens, nothing really happens like store-wise unless you start it again, like the time is stopped. So I could just be standing there doing nothing. Like literally, I think I was reflecting on life because like I said, there were a lot of good stories, but see, what else is there to do? Another day, another empty store with all of my books around me and my stuck Boomba and a lot of litter, and he's not cleaning anything. Did I just litter? Excuse me? What the? As you might have heard from the recording, I was getting kind of unhinged. So I think it was a smart idea to end it there. And here are my final thoughts. Number 1, for anyone who likes time management sims, cozy games, and books in general, this is a good play. Number 2, don't expect that it's going to be this life-changing, like best game of the year, something like that, because it's a small game. Don't, just give it love and don't give it too much expectations. And number 3, take your time to speak with all of the characters, and I mean the characters on the benches. Like, if you want to speak to your customers, then that's fine too, but they usually just say hi. But take the time to speak with those 5 characters because those are, I think, one of the best features of this game, and I really, really had a wonderful time discovering their lives and what they have for us, what lessons they want us to learn. And number 4, when you do have the time, go enjoy decorating your bookshop because it's an amazing thing to have such a beautiful bookshop. Money is a bit hard to come by in a way that if you're like reaching for the big upgrades, it does take a while for you to be able to save up. But once you get to some point, it's not like you're going to have zero money. So at that point, you can just decorate the way you like, because you know, a fancy bookstore that you like how it looks, see, like, it's so satisfying to me. And number 6, don't lose your game. Okay, I'm kidding. Number 6, Bookbound is a really good game. I do recommend it for, well, everyone who wants to try a game, who wants to like chill out and play a game for a while. It is relaxing, it is fun, it is enjoyable, and it is inspiring actually in a way for people who write and read books. And the thing is, you know, that's the most that we should look for in games. Something that tells you to go out and live your life as well. Go read your own books, maybe go play your own games, your other games, go make your own bookstore, things like that. And that was amazing for me, and I enjoyed it a lot. Now you can enjoy this recording of me staring at nothing and doing nothing for the next few minutes while I say that you should like and subscribe my channel to see more of this type of content. I have a lot of different types of content because I do vlog, because this is my online diary, but I'm trying to show my games more often because I love playing games and I love trying new games. So if you have any suggestions and things I should try, tell me as well, and I'll see you guys the next time. Goodbye and bye.